Well, hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. You might have already seen my video that I made yesterday about our trip to Kapunda last weekend. And as I mentioned in that video, one of the highlights for me was actually being able to stop and watch a local football match between Kapunda and Angaston. And I stayed pretty much for the whole game. Took a lot of still shots and also a little bit of video. I don't know whether I might be able to show you a little bit of video. I found out a bit more about the team and who was playing afterwards because I saw these guys videoing the game and a couple of guys commentating in a tent there, and I thought this must be on YouTube. So then I looked it up afterwards and found out that indeed the game was on YouTube, the whole game. So I'll put a link underneath so you'll be able to watch this whole game that I'm talking about. If you watch carefully in the second half, you might even see me walking around the other side of the boundary and sitting on the fence a couple of times with a white cap on taking photos. Anyway, that's not a big deal. So, yep, I'm going to show you a lot of the shots that I took. I'll make some commentary as I go. I'm going to bring it up on the share the screen in a minute so you can see them live, and I'll talk to it as I go. There's a lot of photos here, so I'll try and skip through some of it. Some of it's a bit repetitive. But anyway, this will give you a good idea of what country football is like, grassroots football. This is what used to be called the Barossa Light competition, I think. I think it's still got Barossa Light and something else in it, but I'll put a link underneath to this video that's on YouTube of the whole game anyway, so you can enjoy that. The interesting thing for me was that we were staying in the Kapunda Caravan Park, holiday park, and the owner and his wife, Brad and Emma, I found out by watching the YouTube video afterwards, or that night, that Brad was actually playing in the game. And I was able to take some, well, I was able to identify some of the photos I took of him during the game, and he actually kicked 3 goals for the game, which was really probably a match-winning performance. So there you go, there's something to watch out for. But enjoy this, and enjoy if you follow the link and watch the whole game afterwards. It'll give you a good idea of what Australian rules is about. Australian rules footy, or AFL as commonly called these days. But and the other thing I liked about this team was that the Kapunda team were called the Bombers, and because their colours are the same as Essendon in Victoria in the AFL, who are red and black. My early team when I first started playing senior football was red and black as well. But the reason that the Essendon team are called the Bombers was because they're called the Bombers, and that's why these guys call themselves the Bombers. Is that the Essendon football team, Essendon was where Melbourne, Victoria's original airport was. There's still an airport there, but because they were close and their name was Essendon and they lived in that suburb where the airport was, they came to be called the Bombers. So there you go. So a bit of trivia for you. So let's have a look at some of these photos. I'm going to share the screen now. First of all, I'll do this. I'll just try and get this up to full screen. Okay, now we've got it up there, but I need to just share the screen first. Share the screen, view, full screen. Okay, so now I should be up in the top right-hand corner, and this is the Kapunda Oval. It's right next to the Caravan Park. That's how I knew the game was on. The original old grandstand up there in the corner. And this is just some of the spectators. It was a cold and windy day. They had a fair bit of sunshine in the first half. Australian rules football is played in 4 quarters. And in the first half, the sunshine was out most of the time. But at halftime, it poured with rain. And then it became a wet weather game. So anyway, here we go. Here's some of the action. Getting back to the spectators again. Looking down the field, nice kicking style. Guy in the front there is taking a mark. When you catch the ball in the air, if you're not familiar with Australian rules football, it's called a mark. And the idea is that you catch it without anyone else touching it, and you've got to control the ball before you drop it, because if you don't control it, it's not a mark. But when you take a mark like that, you get a free kick. So there you go. This is a ruck throw in where the 2 guys in the ruck, the ball is thrown up. In some competitions the ball is bounced, but the ball is thrown up, particularly in wet weather, and the 2 biggest guys in the team usually are the ruckmen, and they go for the leap when the ball is in the air and they try and punch it down or tap it down to the advantage of one of their own players. That was number 19 back there that we just saw. This was before the game started, I think. And see a guy there with his runner's outfit on. You have official people that are all volunteers in these games. And in the big AFL games, a lot of them are paid, but a lot of them aren't. That's the Angaston team. They were called the Panthers after the South Adelaide football team, which have the same colours, and they're also called the Panthers. That's their nickname in the SANFL, South Australian National Football League. Guy with the red and black striped shirt there is the coach, I think. And a lot of football games these days, they hold up a whiteboard and they talk about the positions of where people are supposed to play on the actual field. There we are. The Bombers, Kapunda Football Club. 150 years they celebrated in 2016. So, and you can look them up on their website there if you look at that. Sky was fairly clear there, but you'll see as we go through this that it got very dark. There's the Panthers holding up their whiteboard. See some of those clouds coming in there? So the game is about to start. The umpire blows his whistle so the timekeepers can start their clocks going. And they're around about 25-minute quarters. He holds the ball up for the timekeepers to see and blows the whistle, and then he throws the ball up and they go for the ruck. But you didn't see that. I missed that, obviously. Here's someone else taking a mark out in front of someone. The guy behind him has got his arm over his shoulder, so he's probably giving away a free kick anyway, even if he didn't mark the ball. Now he's having a shot. You can see at that stage, Kapunda had 2 points on the board, and Angaston had 2 goals for. Each goal is worth 12 points, and a single, what they call a behind, is worth 1 point. So they had 2 goals for, so that's 12 plus 4 equals 16 points. Another mark being taken. That guy must have kicked a point with that last shot because that's why it's showing 17. A good action shot. Ball coming in. I think he might be handballing it. You're allowed to punch the ball, holding the ball steady in one hand and punching it away to the other hand rather than kick the ball to another player. Bit of action here there. These 2 guys contesting the ball. There's the ruckman again going up for the bounce again. And he dominated all day, that guy. He'd been out with injury, I believe, for a few weeks. That was his first game back. But the other guy was actually taller than him, but didn't do anywhere near as well as number 19. Another mark being taken. Another mark being held out in front. I think that guy could have been the coach of that team. Crashing to the ground. Getting up. But he handballs. He elects to handball the player. Often when you take a mark, another player will run past and then you handball it to them because they've got the advantage of being on the move. And see the circle there on the right-hand side there is the 50-metre circle. And if you're within that 50-metre circle, you've got a good chance to kick a goal because of the distance. So this guy is handballing it to someone running past who's going to get into the circle to try and kick a goal, but I didn't actually pick up that bit of the action. Another ball in the air. This is another spectacular attempt at a mark, which was fairly early in the first quarter. The guy in the red and black team, he looked like he was going to hold the ball. He got his hands on it, but he dropped it to the ground, so he didn't complete the mark. So then the play just goes on when it hits the ground. But I like that action shot. The ball is up there in the top of the screen. Number 19 again, the ruckman. These guys are going for a ruck throw in again by the looks of things. This guy's taken a mark by the looks of things. Some of the crowd over there, the club rooms over there, well, they've got a big kiosk and a bar and everything over there. In the extreme left here is where the TV guys were in that little blue canopy there. There they are doing their commentary and the TV camera was there. That's why I decided to look it up on YouTube after and found out that they were actually doing a live broadcast. So more of the action. More there. The guy with his fist clenched is punching the ball away from the other guy. If you actually run into someone from the front and knock them over, that's considered a free kick normally. So he's almost giving away a free kick there. And see that guy, he's just tried to punch the ball or he's got his hand over his shoulder. So arguably that could be a free kick as well if you've got someone around the neck or got the arm over the shoulder. someone's just kicked a goal. The goal umpires, when a 6-pointer, a goal is kicked between the two upright sticks, wave the flag to signal a goal. If they only kick it behind, that's worth 1 point. So they only wave one flag. So there you go. At that stage, the score, Kapunda were catching up. They were 17. They're only 3 points behind. More of the action there. This guy number 43 has just kicked the ball, and the other guy number 9 is trying to touch it and spoil it. Nice action shot. Someone having a kick. Bit out of focus, that one. Coming off at half time. Now, up until then, they had really good weather, but they came off at half time and it was just starting to spit, I think, then, because I had to run for it to get to the that shelter over there. And there you can see half time, while those guys are inside in the warm, they're all down there and the rain's pouring down. People got their umbrellas up and very wet. This guy was doing something with his catering van because he was shutting it up because it was getting very wet. The water was coming in pretty quick. Another shot showing the rain. Very cold and wet it was at the time. And then, of course, the umpires have to come out for the start of the second half. And the young girl on the left was a boundary umpire, and she was obviously pretty cold. You've got to be dedicated to play this game and to umpire it and do everything else. Some of the players coming out. There's the Bombers running around, getting warmed up, showing a bit of the water on the ground. Some of the volunteers, and up they go for the first bounce or throw up from the umpire to start the second half. And that was Brad, who was the owner of the caravan park we were staying in, having a shot for goal and kicking a goal. And see, you can see the goal umpire, he's got his 2 fingers up, 2 hands up. That signifies that it went through those 2 big poles there and scored a goal. If it's touched on the way through, it's only 1 point. But if it goes through clearly without anyone touching it off the boot or just before it goes over the line and between those poles, it becomes a goal, and that's worth 6 points. There he is waving the flag. And there you can see that the score, they're catching up. So they're only 2 points behind at that stage. Looks like he's just got a handball away, number 15. They turned the lights on. It was getting that dark that they turned the lights on. You can see that it's dark there. There's a bit of rain coming down there too. I'll just scroll through them. Someone taking a mark on the chest. You can either take marks above your head or out in front of you, or on the chest is the safest way if it's coming in low. Guy on the right there for the Bombers, he's looks like he's doing push-ups. Shooting across the oval into the rain again. Very wet and wintry. Getting away. I'm not sure whether he's a natural left footer. If you're a good footballer, you learn to kick with both feet, same as in soccer. You have to be able to kick with both your feet, your right foot or your left foot. And these days you have to learn to be able to handball with both your left or your right hand. Showing some of the cars. When I used to play football in amateur league in Adelaide, we'd often be playing at ovals where you'd have all the cars all around the ground like that. And it's a comfortable way to watch a game sitting in there in the warm. See, he's taking a mark, hugging it just below his chest. Getting the ball away as someone tackles him. You're not allowed to push people in the back. You're allowed to tackle them and throw them to the ground. Another throw up there. The ruckmen are coming in to go for that. That ruckman has just punched it away, number 19, I think. You can see the ball there just to the left of the umpire there, I think, partly obscured. Still raining. The guy's got his umbrella in the back there. It was also across the road, there was netball games going on just at the back of the oval. Country towns are renowned for all their sporting teams, and most young people who play sport, either netball or football or basketball or whatever, and they get right into it. someone else having a shot for goal. And you can see the umpire there with his hand out to the left.
Anthony.
Hello, Anthony. I'm good, thanks. Can I ring you back in a minute? Yeah, I'm just in the middle of doing something, so if I can. Good on you. I'll talk to you soon. See ya. So that little interruption there might be a good place to actually stop this. Needless to say, the Kapunda Bombers went on to win the game, and by 15 points, I think. Anyway, this is Brad kicking the goal. This was the one that was really sealing the game. And there's the umpire signalling it there. So I'm going to finish there. And I hope you've enjoyed that. I have to ring my neighbour back who was ringing me. And sorry about that interruption, but I don't know how to edit that out. So it's too hard. So I hope you've enjoyed that little bit of a glimpse at Aussie rules football as it's played in the country. And follow the link underneath, I'll put underneath. And like if you like, subscribe if you wish, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.